Thrones is one of the best fantasy series of all time. Pair that with great source material and you have an iconic piece of work. I remember reading the books for the first time and becoming emotionally invested in these characters and their personal relationships. To me, it seemed like everyone's history directly affected their choices, and that was the most polarizing part of the series. You can't talk about history without talking about upbringing, which brings us to the subject of this week. Who are the best and worst parents of Westeros? As I mentioned in my previous videos, I want to gear more towards the series as they have more source material, and I'm beefing with George right now since he won't drop the final 2 books for me. So let's start with the worst. I gotta give it to Jaime and Cersei. Every move that they made was supposed to be for their children, and yet every single one of them are dead. I'm also convinced that Joffrey's clear psychological issues are attributed to being a product of incest. Let's also remember that the children didn't even know that Jaime was their father. Number 2 in the worst parents has to go to Stanley Baratheon. He spent his entire miserable life ignoring everyone, including his daughter. And once he caught a whiff of those exotic red buns, he burned his daughter alive. So whack, yo. And the number 1 worst parents are the Starks. Ned's decision to be honorable caused the fall of his entire family. He wasn't stern with Sansa when it was time to leave, and he let his wife abuse his only blood relative. Caitlyn decided to leave her 2 babies in Winterfell unprotected to go tell everyone that Jaime pushed Bran off of the balcony when she really could have just sent a raven. Let's not forget that she released Jaime. That totally undermined Rob's decisions, and it caused them to ultimately lose the North. Also, 50% of their children are dead. All right, so let's move on to the positives. Gotta give number 3 to my girl, Olenna. Yes, technically she's not a parent, she's a grandparent, but she definitely played a major part in raising Marjorie. And let's face it, Marjorie was one of the smartest girls in Westeros at the time. When her husband, the king, couldn't get her out of captivity, she devised a plan to get her and her brother out. And she was the first one to catch on to Cersei's plan to blow up or do something nefarious to all of them. She also worked with her grandmother to kill the king and got away scot-free. This next parent was very close to number 1, but fell just a bit short. Number 2 best parent, Tywin Lannister. Yeah, I said it. As soon as he rolled up on the Red Keep, he started disciplining everyone, including the king, who was very temperamental. He had no interest in being his children's friends, and he scolded them whenever they needed it. When he started to hear the rumors about Cersei and Jaime, he was sure to betroth her to Loras to squash those rumors. Yes, his children are messed up, but did you ever stop to think it's because entitled, rich, attractive kids don't know how to process the word no? As for him sleeping with Shay, she was a whore. She said so herself. Now, for the number 1 parent in Westeros, gotta give it to my man Walder Frey. He just wanted to make sure that his daughters were happy and married. It's not really his fault that they were all ugly. And when Rob rolled up in his house with absolutely no couth with his new chick, Walder sought immediate vengeance. Imagine if your parents rode for you like that every time someone broke your heart. On top of that, he's very fair because when the Tully married off one of his daughters, he gave him the prettiest one. It's great parenting. So let me know your thoughts. Hit me up in my comments below or on the gram. Until next time, have a fantastic week, my friends.